Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my questionnaire friend Frank. How are you today?
Feeling inquisitive. I'm feeling very inquisitive. I have lots of questions for you, but good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. I am just thinking about drinking this beer that I haven't opened yet.
Ooh. You haven't opened it yet. What is it?
I haven't opened yet. It is a Pseudo Pale Ale from the Toppling Goliath Brewing Company.
Whoa, these are all new things to me. So Toppling Goliath, Pseudo. There it is, huh?
It's got a giant T-Rex on the cover.
It does.
I mean on the cover, I mean the can.
On the can,
so,
yeah, wow.
On the can. I mean, it's also on the box art, so let me just, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Huh. How is it?
Oh, it's good. It's really good.
It says here it's an American Pale Ale. Interesting.
This is really good.
Yeah.
I'm quite impressed.
Cool.
It's very smooth for a pale ale. You know how sometimes they got like a little more hop to them?
Yes.
It says this single hop, that would be why. This single hop pale ale showcases the citra hop for a well-balanced beer that is delicate in body with a mild bitterness in the finish. Ferocious hop aromas of citrus and mango give a refreshing taste that is bright with just enough bite.
Huh. Sounds delightful. I got to try that.
Yeah, this is really good. I will save you some if you want, and that way, if next time you are in my literal presence,
yeah,
I will have one for you.
That sounds good. Where did you pick that up?
At a store called Wine.
It's a good name for a place. Good
yeah,
name.
I was very fortunate they had beer.
You were quite fortunate. It sounds like I am having a Simpler Times lager from Simpler Times Brewing out of Monroe, Wisconsin.
Oh, very nice.
And it's a simple, straightforward lager, very smooth, very easy, very drinkable, very delicious. It's the second time I've had it, and I'm really liking it.
Very, very good.
So a few weeks ago, you and I were at a brewery.
We were at a brewery.
Yep. And we it was actually the day after we recorded our Superman the movie as a formula episode.
Yes.
And we were at this brewery, and it was 603 Brewing in New Hampshire, and we discovered this fun drinking game. It was you could barely call it a game. It was like just a bunch of conversation starters, but it was a lot of fun. And we liked it so much we thought, hey, let's buy a set and play it. So it's called Thinking and Drinking. And I will put a link to buy the game in the show notes if you're so inclined. It's actually really cool. It's just a bunch of questions to start conversations with whoever you're at a bar, at a brewery. And every card, there's 365 cards and 6 decks. That's sort of the standard configuration you get. And every card, I didn't even notice this at the brewery, Tim. I don't know if you did because you were dealing, but every card has a little mention of a different brewery on it. And so
oh no, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so 365 cards that mention 365 different breweries. So as I'm looking through here, there's there's 1933 Brewing and Aftershock Brewing and Ballast Point and Belfast Bay and Black Hawk and like all these some that I've heard of, some that I haven't. But it's really cool. It's like, oh wow, it's a cool way to discover breweries you hadn't heard of too. It's cool that the idea is breweries will keep these around so people will play them at the brewery. But I think it's really neat that they give little shout outs to over 300 different independent craft breweries. It's really cool. Anyway, so it's a fun little game. We thought we'd play a quick round here on the show and enjoy ourselves. It's they call it a game of self-discovery or self-destruction. And my only thing here is so there are. I'm gonna try and be kind, but they have a suggestion, which is if you have a question that you want to skip, there should be a penalty for skipping. So I'm gonna say
you have to take a drink.
I'm gonna say that if you want to skip, you have to take a big old swig.
Okay, I can do that. I can take a big old swig.
All right. And we only get one skip.
Actually, this beer that we only get one skip. Ooh, all right. I like that because we have one lookup. So
exactly,
I like that.
Keeping it thematic.
I like that.
And
actually,
like I said,
I'll
so
keep
good.
it. I won't matter.
Won't mind.
Taking
Yeah.
it. Oh my
exactly.
God, no! This is so good.
All right, I'll start us off with a light one here.
Okay, a light beer. I see.
First one is: which decade do you wish you grew up during?
The 1950s.
Well, you answered that real quick. Why 50s?
1950s. Okay, so when we say grow up, you mean old enough to remember?
That's what I would go with, yes.
Right. So you'd want to be a teenager or in your early 20s or something like that, right?
Right.
Right. So definitely the 1950s. Aesthetically, I love the look of the 1950s. The economy was doing well. Rock and roll was just really coming into its own. It was just a fun, cool, happening place where you could get a hamburger and a milkshake, and I desperately want to live in that world. So I would say the 1950s. I'd deal with the 60s, but then you're closing in on Nam, and I'm a lot less inclined to hang out in that era. But Eisenhower was president and he was building some highways and people were like, good looks, Eisenhower, you're doing well. And then he was like, I know it. So yeah. So I think 1950s. Yeah.
Cool.
How about yourself?
Right. That's good. 50s is good. 60s for me, actually. And so the points you just raised are totally valid, totally fair. I think about that pretty often because I actually think about this a lot. But I would I do wish that I'd grown up in the 60s as a teenager in the 60s, so I'd be just old enough to experience the explosion of music, the Beatles especially, the explosion of music that happened in the 60s. I really wish that I was there for that, especially the Beatles. And really above anything. But then, I really love music from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And so to have been old enough to experience something like the Beatles and all the other amazing British Invasion and psychedelic and, all folk rock, all that stuff that was happening at that time, and then get into the 70s and enjoy everything that was happening there, the rise of the really hard rock stuff like the Led Zeppelin and the Aerosmith and that kind of stuff, and then into the 80s with new wave and all this kind of music that I really love. Primarily movies and music that I love so much. Much of it happened in those decades. Mm-hmm. To be able to see Star Wars on a big screen and be like in your early 20s or something and really remember it and take it in and appreciate it. That would just be the best thing for me. So that would be my my thing. The 50s, 40s, and 50s I've thought about, but 60s is the answer ultimately.
Cool. Yeah, I think if I could land anywhere in post World War II, before Vietnam, I'd be happy. I just don't want to be drafted, Frank. That's really what this comes down to.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be drafted.
Well, this is a fantasy scenario where everything's happy. And...
I know.
So on that note, if you could experience anything without the fear of death, what would you do?
Without the fear of death?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that I can't die, or I'm just not afraid to die?
However you want to take it. But that you don't have death is not something you have to worry about. What would you do?
I would love to go to the Earth's core.
Ooh, cool. Okay.
I would like to go from like where I am now, just straight down. I think that would be. We have not done that, and I want to know like what's all the way down there.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it could just be a bunch of rock, and that's that. But I think that would be pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Cool.
How about yourself?
For me, it would be space tourism.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Yeah.
If I had $250,000 to give to Virgin
SpaceX.
Galactic, yeah, I don't know. I think it's I thought it was
Is it Virgin Galactic?
I thought it was Richard Branson was the one who was like already taking reservations, but whoever it is,
I think you're right.
I would love to. I mean, if I had the money to begin with, but if it wasn't so damn dangerous, right? And there wasn't Virgin Galactic is also the one that they a couple of pilots died in test flights. So it's clearly dangerous. So without the fear of death, I would love to like orbit the Earth, go to the moon, go to Mars when that becomes possible. Like all that. So I want to see space. I've always been fascinated by astronomy and just the thought of space travel, and it's always been something that I've absolutely loved. This past weekend, the Mars and Saturn were both very, very visible where I was. I was up in Maine.
I saw both of them as well.
Yeah, it was amazing. Mars was like visibly red, and like it was so big and so bright that it was actually reflecting off the lake. Like the moon.
Wow.
Did. Like it was like you could actually see it. It was unbelievable. I had never seen anything like that. I wish I had a telescope that night, but yeah, that kind of stuff just has always fascinated me.
That's very cool. Good choices. I would also go back to see the dinosaurs if we're talking in the realm of like actual impossibility. I would go all the way back to the dinosaurs. See that for real. Yeah.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. All right, go for it.
What have you used to open a beer?
The bottom of someone's shoe.
Okay. Was it one of those like flip flops that has a bottle opener in it, or was it just like it was?
Yeah, it was a flip flop. Yeah, I've used a wrench before. Actually, that worked out really well. Recommend.
Nice.
4 out of 5 stars. Yeah.
Wish I had known that the one time that, and this is my story, I tried to use the edge of like a brick wall. It was like a fire pit that was made of brick. And I tried to do that thing where, you put the bottle, it was a bottle, and you put it up against the lip of like a table or something, and then you smack it down. And I tried to do that, and I say tried. I wasted a perfectly good switchback. Switchback, I think it was Citra Pills. Yeah, you know how I feel about switchback.
Mm-hmm.
Wasted because I hit it badly on this brick wall, and the top of the bottle, like the neck of the bottle, just snapped off, and I actually still have a scar on my hand from because it cut
whoops.
me. This is last summer. Got a little cut, and I still have the scar. I'll have that forever from the time that I wasted a switchback trying to open it on a brick wall, and then I just drank. It like exploded, and there was foam everywhere, and I just at that point just finished the half a beer that was left and opened a new one with a beer opener like a civilized person.
That is sad.
It is very sad. I have a friend who can open a bottle with his wedding ring, and it's not like they do make rings that have like a bottle opener in them. It's not one of those. He just bought a tungsten carbide, one of those like almost unbreakable.
I wear a tungsten ring. Yeah.
So that's his wedding ring. And it's so unbreakable, and I guess it's got enough of an edge on it, whatever, that he can just, while wearing it, he can just stick it under the bottle cap and just pull it up and pull the cap off, and it's there in his hand.
I'm afraid to cut my finger, but I kind of want to try it.
It's cool when he does it. It's a really cool party trick, and everybody I think around him is like, ooh. I feel like you're hurting yourself, but damn, that's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. I like that quite a lot. That's quite cool.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next question?
What is the weirdest sound you can make with any body part?
Oh, all right. I'm not in the habit of making weird sounds.
Why not?
Wow. I don't know. I can't do that, like, people like make their armpit fart and like all that kind of thing. I can't do stuff like that. So I guess I can make like the Donald Duck angry sound. So
What?
I guess my vocal cords.
What?
Yeah. Have you ever heard me do this?
No.
How
do you do that? Oh my god. Oh my god. How did I not know 10 years of friendship and this never came up?
Yeah, I can't really talk like it. Hold on.
That's really good.
Yeah, you got to like twist your tongue into the back of your throat.
Okay.
And there's got to be like a saliva buildup back there. That kind of what makes the sound. But
nope.
Yeah, that's kind of like yeah. But that's the general idea.
That's the principle.
But it like also takes like some like weird like vibration of the tongue at the same time. And yeah, it's very strange. I don't know how I learned to do it. I think I just tried it one day and I could do it, and that was that.
Amazing.
But yeah, I guess that counts as the weirdest sound I can make.
I mean, that's better than anything I got. I'm just gonna skip a turn. I'm just gonna chug and skip a turn.
I don't know. I don't remember the last time I did that. I think I almost forgot that I knew how to do that until you asked that question. So thank you for reminding me of my cool party trick.
Yeah, thank you for being cooler than me. That's fine. And just for proof, you saw me. Did I chug?
You did chug.
Okay,
I did see it.
Just to keep me honest for the audience.
Oh yeah.
What's the last show you binge watched?
Jessica Jones season 2.
Oh, nice.
I think. Yeah.
I started that. I started Luke Cage. I have to finish both of them. I think the last thing I binge watched all the way through was on Netflix, Dear White People season 2.
Was it good?
It's good. It's very good. I really enjoy it. Yeah.
That's good. I think. Yeah, it must have been because I haven't started Luke Cage yet. Academy Rewind takes up so much of my watching time.
Yeah, sure.
That I haven't watched Luke Cage yet, and there are some things I started and never finished. So yeah, Jessica Jones season 2.
I started Luke Cage. I wasn't loving it. I was sort of feeling lukewarm on it, if you will. But then they had the showrunner of Luke Cage on the latest episode of Kevin Smith's Fat Man on Batman. Mm-hmm. And hearing him talk about it really made me wanna finish season 2. So I think I'm gonna go back and do that. Did you know that he used to be a music journalist? The
showrunner? No, I didn't know that.
He used to be a music journalist, and he for season 1, this is so cool. He made a playlist of a bunch of songs based on their titles and like what the songs were about. And that was the arc of the season, of season 1. So it was like, oh, okay, episode 1 is this song, episode 2 is this song, episode 3 is this song. And literally, like, the stories, I didn't even realize that the stories follow, like, sort of the beats or the feel of these different songs. And so he sequenced it like a mix
like a
CD
playlist. Yeah,
like a playlist or a mix CD. Like, so cool. What a cool way of, like, telling a story.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had known that when I was watching the first season.
Me too.
Yeah. Did he do it for the second season?
Unclear. I bet if I look at the episode titles, I bet that would tell us. But I thought that was so cool. What a cool window into, a cool method for telling a story. So
that
I
has
love
even
that.
made me want to start watching the second season, even if he didn't do that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just knowing that it's such a thoughtful process that when artistically creative, so cool. So yeah, that very much makes me want to watch season 2 before the summer is over.
All right, very
cool.
good. Cool. All right, next question.
Okay, let's go with. So there's a couple here that are about like do this to the person to your left or whatever, and there's no one to our left, so it's fine. Instead of doing blank, I'd rather get punched in the face.
Instead of callback to previous episode, swimming in a pond by myself where I can't understand or feel or know what's around me or below me. And by pond, I mean any body of water at the end. Except a pool. I can do it in a pool. I'd rather be punched in the face.
So really, like you would not swim out into like the middle of a lake?
I would not. Oh, God, no. Oh, my God.
Or
Absolutely
even just like
not.
a few feet from the shore?
I could do a few feet from the shore.
Okay.
But I would absolutely not swim out into the middle of it.
Okay.
Frig that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. What's yours? Please change it.
For me, kind of anything having to do with, like, I really hate like free fall sensation. I like once
like a skydiving.
Like
or
I
when you
want to go skydiving, but it freaks me the hell out.
Sure. So you don't like those dreams where you like wake up and you feel like you're falling.
Oh,
or
that
like,
falling sensation is the worst because I literally I feel like I'm falling out of the bed.
See, I like that sensation. I don't know why, but I say won't go on a roller coaster.
Oh,
but,
see, I would go on a roller coaster, but I don't like the free fall rides, for example.
Yes, I don't mind the feeling. I don't trust the roller coaster to keep me alive.
No, I don't mind that. I mean, as long as it looks reasonably, like I have a standard in my mind of what's like. It's like an old rickety. You know, I rode the Cyclone at Coney Island once. Mm-hmm. That one scared me a little bit. I was like, "This is a 100-year-old wooden roller coaster. I'm not so sure about this." But on the other hand, it's 100 years old. People have ridden it forever, so it's fine, right?
But I don't know.
Yeah, right. But I know I rode that. I completed the ride. It was fun. But I was a little bit like, this is a little maybe not so crazy about this.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Tim, this next question was made for us.
Oh, good.
Made for this show. Which actor is the best Batman?
Oh, my God. Okay, well, Frank, if you're talking about all actors, then I would have to say that it's Kevin Conroy, because he is an actor, and he did portray Batman for quite a long time, and he's certainly the best one out of all of them. Well-written and, so on and so forth. I'd assume that it's not talking about live action or not, so I'm going to say Kevin Conroy. I'm not going to give any stipulation.
All it said was, what actor is the best Batman? That's up to your interpretation.
It's Kevin Conroy. Man played Batman since 1993. 1994 or something like that. He still plays him sometimes. Man has pathos up the wazoo. Plus, he's a super nice dude in real life. Like he inhabits that character in a way that, in both sides of that character, in a way that nobody else really does. Honestly, the person who comes closest to him is Ben Affleck.
Oh, cool.
Michael Keaton is usually like my go-to live action Batman.
Yeah,
but that's like, I think, an emotional response from my childhood. But if I'm really like delving in, like, you understand the character, both sides of the character, you deliver what's on the page on screen, Ben Affleck is the best live action Batman from that perspective. But Kevin Conroy does it better.
I was going to say Michael Keaton because the way I read the question, I just assumed they meant movies.
Sure.
So that was going to be my answer, but I very much like the Kevin Conroy answer because I love him so much, and he has played Batman more than anybody else ever, and I've certainly consumed more of his Batman than of any of the other actors. So that's an excellent answer. But my gut reaction, like first thought, was Keaton.
Michael Keaton, yeah. See, that's usually my first gut reaction, but I think it's an emotional response from my childhood. Because if I was to look at his Bruce Wayne, not as Batman, just as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
he's not really a comic book Bruce Wayne. He's Michael Keaton being Bruce Wayne. It's a little bit different, and I like his interpretation of it. It's just not. It's not exact, but anyway. But Kevin Conroy's even played him like different genres of Batman. He's
right.
Like there's high adventure Batman and there's comedy Batman and there's really dark and grisly Batman, and he's done all of them, and he there's a through line no matter what, and every time he still feels like Batman. He's really really good at it. So Kevin Conroy's that would be my answer.
Is that a Love Actually reference?
Yeah.
Yes, being my answer.
Is my answer. Yes.
As a corollary to that question, can we both agree that Mark Hamill is the best Joker?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, it's the same thing, different genres,
right.
Same deal. He can do it in every level. There was actually a big love fest between the two of them on Twitter recently. Did you see that?
I saw that just this past week.
Yeah, that was very cute. It was very cute. I love that they're friends.
I love it.
Great.
I love it. A lot of people are going to be mad that we didn't say Heath Ledger, but
he's a good version for the film that they're delivering.
Right.
But I've said from the get-go, Christian Bale's on the Christian Bale side, he's a great Bruce Wayne. I really don't like his Batman very much. He's kind of a pushover. Like as the films go on, I think he's great in Begins, and I think he's like wavering a little bit in Dark Knight, and by the time he gets to Dark Knight Rises, he's not really Batman anymore. He's like a guy that breathes through his mouth wearing a Batman mask, and it's not for me. But anyway, teach his own.
I think we have time for two more.
Okay.
First one's kind of a fun throwaway. What's the first part of your body you wash in the shower?
My left arm.
Your left arm. Okay.
Yeah, because I hold the soap or the loofah or whatever in my right arm, and I go up my left arm. That's the first thing.
So for me, it's my armpits, but I'm not sure which one, left or right. I don't know that I necessarily do one of them first, but it's always armpits first.
Well, I guess usually I would argue that it's probably the opposite side of wherever you usually hold the soap, right? So
yeah, but I'm weird that way because I'm left-handed, but I'm kind of ambidextrous, and I do some things with my right hand, do some things with my left hand. It's kind of a weird hodgepodge in my life. So off the top of my head, unless I picked up a piece of soap right now, I wouldn't know which hand I normally hold it in. Like I don't know what's natural to me because it's just I don't know.
That's interesting. Total side note on the ambidextrous thing. You don't watch Lemony Snicket, right, on Netflix?
No, I don't. You've told me how good it is, though.
It's hilarious. It's your exact level of humor. Like you would love it. But that
might be a good hit me with your best shot one of these days.
Okay, yeah, I can do that for you. Absolutely. So, but there's a two episodes wrap up like each place that the kids are at, and there's a carnival episode, 2 carnival episodes in the second one, and Robbie Amell is one of the carnival freaks.
Oh, cool.
But he's playing Robbie Amell, but his like freak thing is that he's ambidextrous. And he's like, and so when he's like, of course you look at me because I'm what's your freakishness that you're too good looking? Like he's like, I can write my name as equally good with my right hand and my left hand. I'm weird. I know. I'll never have friends. It's like it's
moist. My moisture buddy.
Buddy.
Did anything dampened or made soggy?
10 years this summer, man.
I know,
Dr.
10
Horrible.
years. 10 years. And you told me there's going to be a Dr. Horrible 10-year anniversary Comic-Con panel this weekend.
Yeah, this week. Yeah.
Well, by the time you're hearing this, it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. But cool.
Yeah. All right. And then finally, I think this will be our last one for today.
Okay.
What's your walk into the room theme song?
Oh, my God. That's hard. I don't know. I don't know. Send in the clowns. I think this card came up when we played the first time.
I don't remember it.
And I think I had an answer, and now I don't remember my answer. Back in Black. Born This Way.
Lady Gaga?
Yeah, I don't know. Huh? I'm just saying songs. Yeah. I don't know. Is there a song about indecisiveness about songs?
It's funny because this is actually one where I have an answer right off the top of my head.
I don't think I have an answer, so I guess I'll skip it.
Off the top of my head. Okay, there you go. He's chugging, ladies and gentlemen. Off the top of my head, this is not necessarily my answer, but right now I would go with "Immigrant Song" by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, great song.
Not necessarily because of what the song says, but because of how the song sounds.
I think you're feeling good about life right now. I'll tell you. Yeah.
As a walk in the room song, that's just a
That's my favorite
you
Led
up.
Zeppelin song. I love that song.
I love it.
Yeah, it pumps you up in no way. My roommate and I in college used to listen to "Eye of the Tiger," going to one of our classes
that's
together.
A good one too.
That was a great pump up song.
I used to listen to that when I would go on runs. I'd listen to "Eye of the Tiger" and a bunch of other Journey and Foreigner and pump up songs.
Yeah, Let's Get Physical. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. That'll work.
Yeah, I don't know if I have. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Yeah. So, yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. It's all right. You did your time.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that is, I think, the end of. That was a fun conversation here on Beer with Geeks. If you enjoy the show and you want to know where to find us on the internet, you can find us at beerwithgeeks.com. You can find us at Beer with Geeks on Twitter, Beer with Geeks on Facebook. ThoughtBubbleAudio.com is our network. That's where all of these shows are. That includes Beer with Geeks. That includes Supergirl TV Talk, Starkville's House of El Krypton. That includes Academy Rewind and Hate Watch with us. New shows coming soon. You can, of course, Tim and Palmer are back with Academy Rewind for the summer season 3, and they are covering the sevens. So 2017, 2007, 1997, etc. And it has been a blast. They're back in the saddle again, and that's been a lot of fun. I will be in just a few weeks. I will be at Stark Expo Live in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a live podcasting event for charity. If you're going to be at Dragon Con, we're there that weekend, or if you just live in the area, you want to come by, you can get tickets at starkexpolive.eventbrite.com. You'll be supporting generosity.org, who bring clean drinking water to those who don't have it. They build wells and all that kind of thing. It's an amazing charity. And we'll be there podcasting live with Brian Austin Green and Ian Ziering from 90210 and some other podcasting friends of ours from some of the shows that I mentioned. So check that out at starkexpolive.eventbrite.com. And you can, of course, find this show on iTunes and Spotify and Overcast, and anywhere you find podcasts, you'll find this show, and at patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio.
Very good. I thought of a song. I'm here.
Oh, go for it.
I'm ready. So this is totally me. You'll understand. It's called Ballad du Paris by Francois Parisi, and you can listen to it on your own, but that is absolutely, if you listen to it, you're going to be like, absolutely, that's my summer jam right now.
I will grab that, and it's from Midnight in Paris. Of course.
Yeah, listen
of
to
course.
it. It's
all right.
It's totally me.
I will put a link to it in the show notes so folks can listen to it.
Cool. All right. Well then, until next time, cheers.